I am honestly in shock that Blizzard has decided to do this stuff. These patch notes are absolutely wild. And the player reception, I have never seen unanimously agree like this. I have honestly never been a part of any game with a patch note this divisive. We're going to break that all down right now because there is a lot. What's up, World Streamer? Back in the video and checking out all things Diablo 4. Okay, so I'm going to break down the patch notes very briefly. And this is a quick breakdown because you've already seen probably the patch notes and you've already seen YouTubers talk about the patch notes. But essentially all classes are nerfed. We have no reduction in enchantment costs. Hell tides are much slower and much more inefficient. Boosting got nerfed to the ground, which I do like. Doing content other than nightmare dungeons is essentially nerfed and not worth it. Especially the open world. The open world essentially nerfed every mob level, so the XP is completely nerfed as well. Experience bonus from downing monsters of higher level was nerfed around 90%. Crit and vulnerable damage was nerfed 17% and 40% respectively, not counting the inherent nerf to affixes on your weapons, which was actually major nerf. I am honestly in shock that these are the patch notes for a game that's from a AAA studio. But I'm not surprised that it's from Blizzard, as Blizzard really likes to slow down experiences now to make sure that nobody reaches endgame. It's kind of been their MO for a little while, especially with these newer games. It's quite sad to see, but I kind of saw this coming from Diablo Immortal. The fan reception has been absolutely wild. People are calling this the biggest advertisement for Baldur's Gate 3. I also cover a bunch of Baldur's Gate content, so if you want to subscribe for that, you can. I'm going to be doing a bunch of Baldur's Gate videos in the next few weeks. I have a Reddit post here that says spam Nightmare Dungeons alone and your favorite build was nerfed. Thanks, Blizzard, but I'm going back to playing Baldur's Gate 3 early access until the game's release. One of the first comments here is fixed an issue where players were having fun. Another little meme post here that says Season 1, always remember it's okay to stop playing a video game you're not enjoying. And they said down below, just uninstalled if you're seeing patch notes, BG3 it is. Another commenter here, already uninstalled, went back to my backlog until Baldur's Gate 3 drops. I am honestly just astonished that this is the patch notes that we received after all the criticism and all the downplay of kind of like all the problems in Diablo 4 right now currently. I'm almost at a loss for words. I did not expect this today. I expected like a pretty good patch notes and some lot of praise and people talking about D4 is finally saved. This has to be the single-handedly worst reception for patch notes I've ever seen in all of gaming. The reason why I say that, I have never seen so many people agree that this is terrible in every aspect. The only thing that I can say that I liked is that the boosting meta is gone. Not really a fan of people getting boosted from 1 to 50 in 15 minutes. Just not fun to me. Kind of removes the incentive to level, so I am glad for the removal of boosting. However, everything else is absolutely atrocious. Even another post here on a completely different Diablo subreddit saying Season 1 is the worst thing I've ever seen. Anyone else not playing, so many ways they could have dealt with it with stuff. At first it looks amazing. Forget the content part, just the gameplay is going to be horrendous. I'll be going back to PoE. Fire whoever approved this. They're just so disconnected from the actual game and gamers. I honestly do not believe that they play their own game. I know they said they did. I know I've seen Rod tweet his character out. He's level 70 or 80. But in all honesty, I don't understand how they can play the game and think that these patch notes are what are bringing fans back to the game. They also nerfed like one of the funner things, which was Hell Tides. Hell Tides was great. They nerfed the monster levels. They made the Gift of Mysteries cost way more. Now it's 250. And also, it seems like the cinder rate, the drop rate of cinders, is significantly decreased. I'm not sure why they would nerf one of the only open world activities during quote-unquote endgame. And yeah, from a commenter here, we have nice. Instead of adding endgame content, they nerf 1 or 2 endgame events to the point where it's not enjoyable anymore. I really don't understand. Helltide is like 25% of the endgame. Why would they take this out or nerf it into the ground? And as other commenters here said, this was one of the fun things to do. Yeah, I actually enjoyed Helltides over the Nightmare Dungeons. I thought Helltides were fun. They were going event to event. You saw people constantly in the open world. You got to talk with people a little bit. Sometimes I even group with people in the open world while doing Helltides. It was very rare, but it still happened. We have another post here which has received a ton of rewards. Honestly, I'm deleting this game. I think Blizzard has gone too far. That a lot of people, including myself, are already burnt out when we reach the end game. I'm not even talking about level 100. I'm talking about once you have to upgrade from Sacreds to Ancestrals, your character is fleshed out. Yet somehow Blizzard doubles down. Honestly, I know I keep phrasing it, but I am at a loss for words right now. And that's not even talking about my main class, which is Sorcerer, which got absolutely destroyed and dismantled. The class was already terrible and really hard to play other than a few little niche builds that were good on Uber Lilith. They basically also kind of nerfed my class into the ground when it was already the worst class. Even a post here that predicted the Sorcerer nerfs. I've been playing Blizzard games way too long. This is Mike Adamson who said, "It's Blizzard, don't get your hopes up. I think they will nerf Devouring Blaze since it's used too much, buff something random like Charge Bolt, and on average it will be even worse." They said Destructive Charge Bolt reductions is increased from 20 to 25%, while Devouring Blaze got its bonus critical strike reduced from 10, 20 to 30% to 7, 14, and 21%. While it also got its bonus critical strike damage to immobilize reduced from 25, 50, 75 to 10, 20, and 30. That is absolutely devastating. That's more than 50% nerf to an already nerf stat. I honestly cannot believe the only viable perk on the Sorcerer build is being nerfed. I mean, on one hand, it makes sense for them to nerf this one, but they didn't buff anything else. The Sorcerer is just useless at this point. Now we don't even do the damage at all. There's even a new wand here, like this one. The Sorcerer Oculus Unique Wand gain the effect of Teleport Enchantment for free, and when you invade using Teleport Enchantment, you are taken to a random location. It has to be the absolutely worst thing I've ever seen. Someone made a comment here saying, "I hope it teleports me to the character creation screen so I can re-roll another class." I honestly can't believe these are the patch notes. I do want to briefly go over the discourse I had yesterday on the pay-to-win stuff. People weren't understanding, and they were like, "The Battle Pass is cosmetic only," and this, that, and the other. No, the Battle Pass is not cosmetic only. There is a free track and a paid track. The paid track is only cosmetic stuff, right? But the free track does contain something called cinders. Now, when you buy tier skips for the Battle Pass, it applies to both the free track and the paid track. Now, here's where the problem comes in. Everybody keeps saying the Battle Pass is going to be easy to level. It's going to be easy to level it up. They said it's going to be easy to level. The Battle Pass is only leveled via challenges. And just like what happened with Halo Infinite, when you had to do specific challenges, it changed your playstyle completely. So you couldn't queue for Team Slayer, you had to queue for Team Doubles, or whatever it was, Team Snipers, or whatever playlist you had to queue. Essentially, Blizzard is doing the same thing here with this Battle Pass. So if you're someone like me who just likes to endlessly grind the same dungeon over and over again, or just kind of play your own way and grind what I was doing Hell Tides and back into dungeons, that means you aren't completing the challenges on the Battle Pass track, which means that your Battle Pass is going to be really slow to level up. So again, if I'm level 80 and my Battle Pass free track is not at level 80, and the level 80 Battle Pass track offers Cinder powers, which are powers, then I can pay money to skip to level 80 and unlock those Cinder powers. That is where the pay to win comes in, and I honestly do think people are going to notice it a lot more once this all releases and comes out. Now, hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully the Battle Pass is easy to level up, and you'll be Battle Pass level 90 when the character is level 70. But again, if it is vice versa there, then it can offer some sort of pay to win. Now, I don't think there's going to be a major advantage with Cinder powers, and I don't think it's going to be that much of pay to win, or realistically pay to win overall. However, that was my point of that if you can pay for tier skips, and the Battle Pass is hard to level up, and my Battle Pass is much lower than my character's level, then me buying the tier skips is essentially me buying the cinders. That was my main point. I think there was a lot of confusion back and forth. I got a ton of dislikes on my last video, and I think that was why, because people weren't understanding what I was explaining about pay to win. Regardless, that's essentially what I was trying to explain. And overall, these patch notes are terrible. This is absolutely the worst thing I've ever seen added to a game or patched into a game ever. I don't think I've ever seen a company dip this low or go this low before. Yeah, this is the biggest advertisement for BG3, Starfield, and every other game coming out for the next few months. That does about cover for today's video. If you like it, and subscribe. Until the next one. Doses.